Hey everybody, welcome back to Addie no Okurimono. I just love this music. We are back and today we are gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of the puzzles. So in this episode, I'm gonna show the solutions, the A rank puzzle solutions to all the puzzles that we didn't do in the last episode. What the hell am I looking at? This kid is just doing his business over here in the spring thing. I'm not sure why Addie is so fascinated by that. Actually, yeah, I know why she's fascinated by that. Yep, only in a Japan game. Anyway, let's get to it. Okay, as you remember, in the last episode, we left off on bowl to drum. So we're going to go ahead and just go through the rest of these using the book. I found is the easiest way to show all the solutions. So if the puzzle you're stuck on, wasn't in the last episode, it should be in this one because we're going to do the rest. So bowl into drum. This is one of the instrument puzzles when you're making instruments. So we got our MR just by flipping that. And there's our UM. Nice and convenient. How convenient it is. So there's that one in 8 moves. Now we had this one, on the last episode, just the reverse. Cat into cow and cow into cat. They're both done the same way. Just some fun rotating. I find it interesting the word cry is there. But the DSZ, just flip that and it makes cat. In 6 moves. I always thought that one was kind of interesting. Okay, a little bit more complicated one here. Changing papaya into a violin. Papaya! Papaya! So trust me, what I'm doing looks weird, but it's gonna make the thing a lot better. We've got oi oi. So we need lots of O's and I's. And once again, I'm going to build the answer on the top row. Okay, so there we got our L in my hand. I know it looks like an M, but it's actually the L as we put it in there. Rotate everything up one. And there it is. That one was quite complex. Here is, one of the final puzzles in the game where you're supposed to turn joka into a gear. And I will show that in the next episode as I'll show the ending to the game in the next episode. So you'll see this puzzle. but not too difficult. Just rotate that to get the E, or the AR I mean, and then you put the E in, and you got the gear. So if you weren't sure, Joka is the name of one of the characters in this game. He's kind of a joker, and he looks just like Moze from Addie's real world. But in the dream world, he has a different name. So that one's nice and easy. Just 6 moves. It's nice when there are fewer moves, because then you know that there's not too many possible combinations. But here's one. I think 17 is one of the bigger ones in the main game. So this one, necktie into parasol, is pretty complex. So go ahead and pause if you need to. I'll try to go slow here through the steps. But there is quite a bit of rotating and swapping that needs to be done. You can see it start to forming there on the upper line. So that was to get the O in the right place. So there's Rasal and P. Add the A in. And there it is in 15 moves instead of 17. 17 is the official, but you can actually get it in 2 less. Another instrument one. Changing the stove into a piano. This one's kind of interesting. The V, is quite annoying, as it's a letter that's hard to work with. So you want to make sure to get rid of it. And once again, I'm setting it up to build the answer on a different line. And magically, by rotating all that, we've got the piano. So that last move is a little tricky. Rotating the entire line, and then it'll make piano. Here's another one, making an instrument. Melon to viola. So first we change all the letters, rotate up one, and again, and again, and again, until you get ink here. We'll take the I out, make this a W, there's our V, and then there's the Ola. So yeah, if I was to give, tips, I gave quite a few in the last episode, but another one is, if you're going to remove a ring, usually it's one near the middle, and then you want to manipulate the letters, to be the ones you want at the beginning of the word and the end of the word. So usually it's 2 spaces that you want to leave, and then kind of manipulate. And then, swap letters as needed. So this one's a little complex. Mostly a lot of swapping. There's Sund. There's my AL. It seemed like it took a while to get to it, but that's the best that I could do for that puzzle. Getting it in 15. I'm guessing that one could be done in less moves, but I'm not sure. Alright, here is cotton into velvet. If you were stuck on this one. Alrighty. Yeah, that one's a little complicated too. Also, if you guys are just looking for the solutions to these and you're sick of hearing my voice, and this music, you can also just mute it and just watch me do the puzzle in silence. It's kind of funny, this music, it's not too annoying, but it can drive you mad when you're sitting here like for an hour doing a puzzle in the dark with creepy shadows outside on Halloween night. Oh. Careful with that last move, or the second to last, I mean. I rotated the S and the C, because if you mirror that, you will get the C that you want, but the S will become a Z. So that one you actually have to rotate. Another thing to keep in mind, when you rotate an S, it stays an S, but when you mirror it, it becomes a Z, as you can see there. So we're going to go ahead and make a flute here. There was quite a few of the musical instrument puzzles. Quite a bit of swapping there at the end, but there's your flute. Just what everybody wants. A shell into a flute. Alright, changing the desk into a base. If people are wondering, there's a part in the story where we go to a bar and there's a bunch of objects there, and we have to change them all into instruments for a concert, so that Eliza can, be part of the concert. So you want to get these two letters, identical, so you can get the double S. And once again, I'm building it up top, as you can see. Flip that. And since the T's don't change, you'll keep your two S's. So CBTT is what you want to build, and that'll make your base. This one was a little tricky, to be honest. Snake and a broom. So as always, we're going to cut this, take the N out, rotate this and put the N where the L is, and then put the L back in. Now I have OOM right there. That's the quickest way to get it that I could find. Take out the R, and there's our B. Switched, put the R back in, and we're done. The trick is just getting the NNL, which gives you the OOM. Alright, another one that Joker made. He left a spider to stop us that we got to turn into a report when he was running away from the library scene. The library incident in the game. A little tricky because of the two red rings. You got to be careful. You know, those are going to have to be your E and your R. And of course the middle ones are nice and easy to manipulate. So let's get our P. You can either swap that or move it one up. It doesn't matter because it's a slip ring, so it won't, you know, mess up the rest of your letters. It's too bad that there's not as many slip ring puzzles. I guess they'd be too easy. So here's this one again. This is the only other one that's a repeat. There are two puzzles in the story that are repeats. One is the cow to cat, and then cat to cow again. And this one, the jewel to donut, and donut into jewel. But this is the one you'll encounter first, changing the donut into a jewel. So basically getting that WE is the tricky part. There's the solution, and if you saw the last episode, I did it the opposite way. But yeah, once again, it's exactly the same. You can just do the identical steps. No different. Okay, this one looks a little daunting, but it's not too bad. Changing a lighter into Firefly in 13 moves. Mostly it involves a lot of swapping, you know, just to get the right letters lined up. And once again, I'm, you know, building it up top. So that makes the LY, and move it up one, and there you go. Let's change cookie into button. I feel sorry for one of the kids in this game. He had all these snacks like a cookie and a tart, and he had all these sweets, and then Addie was changing them all into objects. So the double O there is very important. Because there's our TTON, just like that. So it was important to get, you know, the double characters as soon as possible. And there's a button in 14 moves. I'm also thinking that one could be done, oh, I guess it was less. Yeah, I guess the 15 was the record and I did it in 14. I wonder if it could be done in less than 14. Another pretty easy one. taking the P with me, which is why I made it an invalid character. And the O, of course, can always stay the same, which is nice. There's a couple of these puzzles at the end of the game that are missable. These are all in the library, and they're all changing these animals into books that were left behind by Joker. This one's really interesting. Just going up, I find the word cold here, but this is where you want to work. Take the L out, make a P and put the L in, put the P in, and then bring the BO down and the K down, put the O back in, and there's our book. Now, I recommend trying these on your own because these were actually the most fun for me. There's about like 4 of them, I think, where you got to turn them all into a book. So here's Crow into book. This one's a little easier. And once again, I'm going to build this with CPPL, and the answer is right above. So it was easier, to get CPPL than the BOOK. So you want to build that one space, one space above. And here's another one, changing swan into book. Exactly the same method, but this time I'm going to build it on the lower level because it's a little bit easier to get the double N instead of the double P. So it's going to be ANNJ. So there's our J. Put the N back in, and there's book. Go down 1. So yeah, I recommend trying to figure those out on your own. I guess I should have put a spoiler alert in there, huh? But those were kind of the most interesting in the whole game to me. Changing all those different ones into books. Alright, we gotta change the pachinko slot machine into a pump. A completely useless machine into a useful machine. Just kidding. Pachinko's way better. Once again, as you can see, I built it underneath and then rotate up 1. So if you're really having trouble, with a lot of these puzzles, that's a great way to try to solve it. Think about what letters come before. And I know I keep saying it, but yeah, build it on the lower line or the upper line rather than trying to build it in the middle. Alright, let's change some candy into a match. Once again, that poor kid lost his sweets. Now I'm doing this to take the T and the C with me, down to the H, or the Y actually, which becomes an H. And there's our M, put the A back in, and there we go. Candy into match. Alrighty, ginkgo into mantle. I found a way to do this in 14 moves instead of 15. Honestly, this one's pretty easy just because of the slip, the slip rings. So there's the TLE, so that manipulation was very important. And there's my A, because the slip rings, don't mess up the other ones. And I'm sure there's quite a few different ways to do that one, because the slip rings make it really easy. Alright, we're changing the guy's watch into glass. It's actually supposed to be glasses, because when Addie does it, she uses his watch, and hey, there's a match. She uses his watch and changes it into some glasses so he can see the painting better in the art gallery. And once again, I'm building it up top. And then bring it down. And 13 moves. If only I could turn the watch into a match. Okay, this one's in the book and it's part of the story. If you can't solve this, then yeah, you should not be playing this game. I don't even know why I put it in here, but it's just in the book, so just swap 2 letters and you're done. Changing a lemon into a melon. There is a bunch of tutorial puzzles in the book, which you have access to in the very beginning of this game, but I'm not doing those solutions or those puzzles because all you have to do is hit the select button and the computer will show you how to do the solution for all of those tutorial puzzles. There's about 20 of them and they're fun, so I recommend you try those, and if you can't get them, you can just hit the select button and the computer will show you, or the game will just show you how it's done. Alrighty, so that was all of them. That was all 62 puzzles in the whole story. Now, I do want to say there are more puzzles in this game, the tutorial puzzles, but of course the solutions to those will be given to you if you're stuck, so I'm not doing those in this video, but these are the 62 puzzles in the main story. Now there is a New Game Plus mode which adds some extra puzzles, and I will show a little bit of that in the next episode. This is the skin that I've been using for this playthrough. I've purchased all of them, and they all have different sound effects and a different look, and yeah, it can be a nice change of pace to kind of change the look of your Loglock while you're playing this game. Although the default, I think, looks just fine. Let's go ahead and have a look at one here before we end the video. This is Cafe de Addie. I kind of like the look of it, but I don't really like the sound effects. That's why I was using the Japan style one. So let's change Hello World. The record is 30. Oh, come on, we can do it in less than 30. Oh, we hit the bomb. Okay, I guess I'll go back and use this O here. Could have done that better. 13 moves. I think I've done it in 11. But yeah, I want to thank everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And that's all the solutions to all the puzzles in the story mode in Addie no Okurimono. So in the next episode, we'll go ahead and do the ending of this game. And I will show you a couple of the omake, or bonus puzzles, that are in this game. I haven't A-ranked them, so I don't have a video, but I hope this video helped you. So we'll see everyone in the next one.